Hi, happy Memorial Day. It's really a very sad event, yet it's happy that we have the freedom in our country. So I want to say happy Memorial Day and grateful and thankful for all of those that went before us um, that have given us this freedom. And so thank you to the families that are still here. And I hope you have a blessed day today. And with that, I wanted to come on today and talk to you about regrets. I had a great conversation with a widow friend of mine yesterday, and we talked quite a bit about regrets, what we shoulda, coulda, woulda done. Did we do enough? Did we do too much? Were we there enough for them? Could we have done more? And I would imagine that you've probably had those same feelings. And so I wanted to touch base on that today with an idea for you that might help. And I'm going to do this too. I haven't done it yet either, but I'm going to do it. And I really recommend that you guys give it a try too and see if it doesn't help. I want to back up and start with sharing a concept with you that in my business that I'm in, and most of you know I'm in a home-based business online from my phone, and one of the things that we're encouraged to do on a daily basis, besides our prayers and time with God, is to have some affirmations and have some things, some goals, and to read those affirmations and those goals on a daily basis. And someone recently shared, I know, it was last December because it was a Christmas time. Someone suggested, one of the trainers, that we write a letter to Santa. And we tell Santa how happy we are for the following year. So for me, it would be, I'm so happy and grateful for this Christmas, December 2023. And then I go on to telling Santa, I know what my goals and aspirations were, and I just want to let you know that all of those have been achieved. And then I went on to list what those were. And I had my notebook in case I was going to read some of it to you, but I don't think I need to. You get the idea of it. And it was basically, we wrote a letter to Santa and we told him, how happy we were about that Christmas, because we wrote it last year as if it was this coming December. Does that make sense? So we wrote it a year later, but we wrote it in present tense. And I had a lot of fun writing it and just kind of putting all my affirmations and things on there. And that was easy to do because it was all fun and positive and upbeat. And after talking to my friend yesterday, I just had an aha moment that I had not thought about prior. And I think this might help a lot of us. Because I would imagine that you, along with me, have the concerns, did you do enough? Did you say enough? Did you express your love enough? What could you have done differently to make it better, to make their life longer? A lot of issues like that, right? So what I am proposing that you might want to do is join me in writing a letter to your spouse that has passed. And say anything you want to in that letter, but dig deep. This is not going to be like the fun, upbeat letter to Dear Santa. But I want to dig deep, and I encourage you to do the same thing. And dig deep and see what your thoughts and feelings were. Did they have a long illness? anything from 6 months or more to me would be a long illness. And they have anything like that, and did they need care? Did you give them enough care? Did you give them too much care and not enough love? All kinds of feelings that you can come up with. And if they passed suddenly and you didn't have the caregiving issues to deal with, because if you were a caregiver, those are issues that you have to deal with, or that would be good for you to deal with. Not that you have to do anything, but it would be good for you to deal with and get those feelings out. And it's one thing to talk about them, but when I write it down and I read it, I internalize it more. And my goal of internalizing this letter is to really let my husband know how I felt and how much I loved him, and any regrets that I might have had. Did we have an argument recently? Did we have an argument in the last 6 months? I don't know, ever. Did I raise my voice? Was I not kind? Any thoughts that you might have, and write them out. And don't just put a sentence, make a letter out of it. Make it a couple of paragraphs, a whole page. Express every feeling that you've got in the regard of what you wish you coulda, shoulda, woulda done, or would not have done in the case of like arguments or what have you. Just share them all. And I would really like to ask that after you've written the letter, when you get it completely written, and don't type it. Oh no, don't type it. It's not personalized unless you hand write it. So whether you have to print it or write it, or however you have to get it on paper, hand write it. I really, really encourage you to hand write it. And then read it to yourself as if you were reading it to him. And read it from the bottom of your heart. And I'm expecting to still have those feelings even though I've written that. And so my thought is that I'm going to keep the letter, and like my affirmations and my Dear Santa letter that I read every day, I'm going to read this letter every morning along with those until I can read it without crying and know that he has heard me. He has received this letter. And he knows my heart and soul. And he knows how I feel. And I can release the burden that I carry of did I, could I have, would I have, what wouldn't I have done? The purpose is to write it to him and then read it to him, to release ourselves of the burdens. Because if I can relieve myself of the burdens that I've been carrying for 4 years, and I say I'm getting better, and I am as far as functioning in society, but I still have those same thoughts and feelings and those heartaches. And so I'm going to write a letter to Gar, and I'm going to read it to him. And I'm going to read it to him every day until I can read it with love and compassion and not tears or dread. Aww. my phone is going to die, and so I'm going to shorten this, but I'm pretty well done. I just want to I really want to encourage you to write the letter and read it like I'm going to do, and comment below how it feels to you to do that, how it felt to you to do that. How long did you have to read it before you could read it with love and compassion for yourself, and not for dread and woulda, coulda, shoulda. And I would love to know how it made you feel, and if it's made a difference for you, because the goal is to release bad feelings so that we can go on living the life that, well, in my case, Gar would want me to live. Because he said, before he died, he said, when I die, I want you to hold a wake. I want it to be a party. I want laughing and singing and everybody to be happy. We sort of did that. But I haven't done my own life that way since then. And I know it's what he would want. And I know it's what your husband would want you to do too. So name him. Dear Gar, dear whatever your husband's name is, and just start pouring your heart out, even if it's a couple of pages. It doesn't matter. As much as you can possibly write to dig deep and get every feeling out. And so with that, I'm going to close for today, and I want to thank you for joining me. Thanks for coming into my living room, which I adore. And if you haven't subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe and click the little bell. And thanks for coming back. For those of you that have been with me for the whole 4 years, or almost 4.5 years. So thanks for coming back and joining me. And please let me know how it went for you. And I will either in the comments let you know how it went for me, or I will do a new video in a week or two, whatever it takes me to get through this, and come back and share my thoughts. But I want to hear your thoughts before I share mine. I'm not going to share mine until you share with me what it's done for you and how it's changed you, and how it helped or didn't help. All right? So with that, I just want to say, remember, if nobody else tells you today, I love you. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.